let's take a look at the cost volume profit analysis. So what it exactly does is we look at prices, we look at volume or changes in the prices, volume, fixed cost per unit, total fixed cost, variable cost per unit, total variable cost. We will also look at product mix a bit later, but any changes in any of these parameters, how is it going to affect our profit? And this is what a CVP analysis is. Yeah, so let's make sure that we know that it's a CVP analysis in abbreviation. So again, if you remember from our earlier video, the sales less variable cost equals contribution margin, less fixed cost equals operating income. That's what our contribution income statement looks like. So here we've added also an information, so much more detailed than it was before. So we have total value, so total dollar values, percentage, and then value per unit. So sales, let's say that in our example, the sales has equals $100,000. We deduct all variable costs. Again, I repeat, this is both product and period costs. All variable costs are deducted. And in this case, it's 60,000, which equals to 40,000 of contribution margin. In terms of percentage, it's going to be sales is 100%, a variable cost is 60% of total sales, and contribution margin is contribution margin ratio is going to be 40%, or we can also represent it as 0.4 contribution margin ratio, whichever works for you. And we also have a per unit basis, so we can assume that we sell 1,000 units, and these are our per unit basis calculations. We have total fixed cost, which is $30,000, and we deduct it and we reach our $10,000 value of operating profit. So there are a couple of observations to notice right here. One is that if contribution margin equals fixed cost, the operating profit will be exactly zero. If contribution margin is higher than fixed cost, operating profit will end with a profit. And if contribution margin is less than fixed cost, operating profit will be less than zero. Therefore, it will be a loss instead of a profit. Here we can also immediately after making this observation calculate our break-even point in units. What exactly is break-even point? Let's just remember our coordinates. Yeah, so we have dollars, so this is the sales, and this is our volume, the level of activity, and we have our fixed costs right here. Let's draw a line for our variable cost or total cost if we do it this way. Yes, so again, just to remind you, this is our variable cost, and this is our fixed cost. Together they constitute the total fixed cost, or just total cost. And then if we draw also a line that would represent our sales, we will get something like this, and the point at which the sales and the total costs meet, that's where the break-even point is. This is the point at which we earn neither the profit nor the loss. We don't incur any losses, but we also don't earn anything in profit. So anything above this point right here, this section right here, is going to be our profit. And notice the higher the sales, the larger is the profit. And if we also draw them, sort of highlight the section of the loss, anything below the break-even point right here, that's going to be our loss. Yeah, that's going to be our loss right here. So we can calculate exactly how many units do we need to sell to reach this break-even point, to reach this point. Yes, so this point. So for that, we have a formula: break-even point per unit in units is going to be equal fixed cost divided by the contribution margin in units. And if we want to calculate the dollar value or the dollar amount of it, then it's going to be fixed cost divided by the contribution margin ratio. And that's basically it.